I felt like I was doing a private tutor and it felt different,
Yeah, for sure. I can totally understand that. If I was teaching a private class, it would feel different. But since it's like a group, I'm like, I'll just teach it like a group. And then if somebody jumps in, which they usually do. Hi, guys. Heather and Barb.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you.
Barb, you're back home
I am back home for now, thank
for
goodness.
now. Okay. Taking a moment, huh?
Yeah,
Then you got
Yeah.
something else? You go
yeah, I
and
may
some-
go back to Florida one
Okay.
more time.
One more time. Okay.
Let's see.
All right, guys. It's advanced today.
Oh,
I'm like, what does that even mean? Just like advanced stuff. Do you guys have any requests?
nothing special.
Just something
Just
really
be
advanced.
kind. Be kind.
Be kind. Okay, I will be, because I like softies when I have to practice. When I'm teaching in the front of the room, I like it really hard, but when I'm doing it with you, I want it easy. It's hard. Okay, let's do it. Go ahead and just find a comfortable seat. So I need to mute. I'll just press mute all just in case anyone hops on. But yeah, comfortable seat. If you want to take a moment, move a little bit, to wiggle a little bit, stretch a little bit. It's gonna get some physical feedback. Go for it. And then eventually settle in to stillness. So when you're ready, just close your eyes. Let your hands rest somewhere intentionally. Start to notice and tune in more to your breath as it flows through you. And also just to any sensations, pulsations, even your thoughts as they come and go through your awareness. So really just becoming more present and more aware and paying more attention. And let's all take a great big inhale. So next time you breathe in, just fill up as big as you can. Hold in fullness. When you think you're full, see if there's even an extra little sip you can get at the top. And then open your mouth, a great big sigh, let it go. Ah. And do that 2 more times. Great big inhale, fill up. Take that moment of pause, and as you hold your breath, try not to tighten or strain, but relax around your held breath. And then when you're ready, open your mouth and let it go, sigh it out. Ah. Last time, so big, huge inhale, fill up. Hold. Soften around your held breath, keep holding, keep holding. When you are ready, big open mouth sigh, let it go. Ah. Now come into Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. So start to fire up that kind of energizing breath. So it is relaxing and calming at the same time as it's energizing. I love that about Ujjayi. So start to just really tune in, find your own rhythm. Go ahead and blink your eyes open to a soft gaze. We're actually going to start with some seated stretching today. So just extend, and you can be facing whichever direction. Extend your left leg out in front of you. And bring the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. And let your hips kind of open up. So if what I'm cueing isn't matching what you're seeing, just make sure you get both sides, and you guys are familiar with these poses. So we're not squaring our hips towards our extended leg, we're letting our hips open. You can take both arms to the sky or just your right arm up. Take a big inhale, and then going for a side body stretch up and over. So reaching for your left foot. Breathing into your right side body, keep pressing foot into leg, leg back into foot. Take about 3 more rounds, just like this. Try to keep your heart as open as possible, so not rounding towards the ground and closing off, but opening up more towards the sky. Imagine you're trying to press the back of your left thigh down, 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 press down through your left heel as well as you flex your toes. Take one more breath. And then rise up, take both arms up. Bring both arms down by your sides and just switch out your legs. So left foot to your right inner thigh, or just make sure you get both sides once again. Let your hips open, so not squaring them towards your extended leg, but allowing them to open. Maybe right hand rests on your right leg, or maybe both arms reach up. Take a big inhale. Exhale, side body stretch up and over to the other side, and keep pressing through your right heel, the back of your right thigh. Imagine your heart's trying to look up. Don't let your toes rotate forward or back, but they should be facing straight up, and then flex back towards your shin. Keep rooting through your sit bones, pressing foot into leg, leg back into foot, and then breathe into your left rib cage, waistline. See if there's any more space you can find or create with your breath. Couple more rounds. Good job, you guys. Next time you inhale, back up, reach your arms up, and then let your arms come down by your sides again. Let's take both legs out, so you're in a wide-legged straddle position, and you might even take a moment to kind of propel yourself forward a little bit, so try to get onto the front edge of your sit bones if at all possible, and if it's helpful, sit up on top of a pillow or blanket, something like that. Flex your toes back, press down through your heels, arms reach up. Inhale here, and then as you exhale, hinge at your hips, lead with your heart, lengthen, then let it go. You can bring your hands to the ground in front of you, and maybe even begin to crawl your hands a little further forward. So butt is reaching back as your heart is reaching forward. Press down through the backs of your heels and flex your toes. Also try to press as much as you can through the backs of your thighs so that your quads engage. Imagine somebody is standing on the tops of your thighs. Take just about 3 more breaths, working your wide-legged fold. All right, very end of your next exhalation, roll up really, really slow, 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 slow. Head comes up very last. Once your head stacks, bring your legs together. Set up for either a reverse tabletop or a reverse plank pose. So your legs may stay extended, or you may bend your knees, bring your feet to the ground. Hands behind you, fingers face in towards your hips or out towards the sides of your mat. Roll your shoulders back and down, puff up through your chest. Press through your heels, lift your hips. Hug in with your inner thighs. Keep your shoulders open, keep them back and down. Try not to let your head just collapse back, but if you want to take your head back, extend back to strengthen the sides of your neck. Take one more big inhale, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, release. Come forward to hands and knees. So if you want, you can just cross your ankles and roll over your feet. However you want to get there, tabletop. Start to move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Back and forth with your breath. Couple more times, just like that. Extension and flexion through your spine. And then start to come back to neutral spine position. We'll move into thread the needle with our right arm. So inhale, reach your right arm out to the right, all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, thread your right arm underneath you. Reach as far as you can, then come down and rest gently on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. Breathe. Big deep breaths all the way down into low belly, low back. Let's take a couple more. If you do have your left hand lifted, set it back down. On an inhale, unthread your right arm, reach it out and up. Exhale, set your right hand on the ground. Then bring your knees together to touch. Walk both hands off the right edge of your mat and set your hips back into the left. Breathe down your left side. Press your left armpit down towards the earth. And then coming through center when you're ready, switch to the other side. So hips go back to the right as you reach forward to the left. Breathe into your right side. When you feel pretty even on both sides, start to find your way back to a regular tabletop position. Bring your knees at least hips width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, and we will thread the needle on our left side. So left arm out and up, breathe in. Exhale, thread it underneath. So reach, come down to rest, and breathe. Working it on this side however you want. So maybe exactly like you did before on the other side, maybe something totally different. Take about 3 more deep breaths. And then right hand back to the ground if it's lifted. Next inhale, unthread your left arm, reach it out and up, open up. And then left hand to the ground. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, down dog. Take a moment to walk out your down dog, pedal out your heels, shift your weight around. If it feels better to bend your knees, bend your knees. If it feels better to straighten your legs and you can keep the length in your spine, then awesome, go for it. So working your pose in your way, breathing into it, feeling around for everything there is to notice. Let's just take one more big inhale into our down dog. And then as you exhale, gaze forward, and however you want to get there, feet to the top of your yoga mat, forward fold. Inhale into a halfway lift position. Exhale, bow, let it go. Do that once more, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now from the press of your feet, lead with your heart and rise all the way up, arms reach up. Hands to heart as you exhale. Flow with your breath for a moment. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, slow dive down into your fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, chaturanga, or you can skip it. See you back in down dog, so move into your back bend of choice. Take your time. Downward facing dog eventually, a few rounds of breath. One more inhale into your dog pose. Exhale, look forward, step or hop, forward fold. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, bow. Root through your feet all the way up to stand, arms reach. Hands to heart, exhale. Let's move through a couple of sun bees just to get kind of warmed up. So inhale, reach. Exhale, sit back into a chair. Stay here as you breathe in, sitting nice and low. And then next exhale, let it all go, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, chaturanga, strong arms, strong belly. Heart lifts with your in-breath. Keep your shoulders down and back. Exhale, down dog. Let's keep our flow going. Just one inhale into down dog. Exhale, gaze forward, step or hop. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow and fold. Forgot we were doing B's. This is just an A. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to heart center. Now we'll take us through a B series. Inhale, reach. You guys are like, whatever, I don't care. Whatever you say. Exhale, chair pose. Stay here, breathe in. And then fold it forward. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, lower down, or skip it if you'd rather. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, hips lift. Okay, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step through. Your choice, crescent or warrior one. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to the ground. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, down dog, lift your hips. Inhale, left leg high, stretch and lengthen. Use your core, step your left foot through. Crescent or warrior one, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step your front foot back, top of a plank. Exhale, lower. Lift your heart, inhale. Lift your hips, exhale. Inhale into your dog pose, push the ground away. Exhale, look forward, step or hop, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Listen, inhale, chair pose, bend your knees, weight in your heels. Exhale, stay, maybe sit a little lower. Inhale, high mountain, straighten your legs, reach up. Hands to heart, exhale. Let's do one more round just like that. Breath to movement. Inhale, reach. Exhale, chair. Stay and hold, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift with your in-breath. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, vinyasa. Skip it if you'd rather. Heart lifts, inhale. Hips lift, exhale. Right leg high, inhale. Step it forward with your exhalation. Crescent or warrior one, rise, breathe in, building heat. Keep it going, exhale, hands down. Step your front foot back, see if you can keep it going as you lower. So maybe you're even holding empty, inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, hips lift. Left leg high, breathe in. Step it through as you breathe out. Rise with your in-breath, crescent or warrior one. Exhale, hands down, front foot back. Try to keep that exhale going, chaturanga. Lift your heart, inhale. Lift your hips, exhale. Inhale into down dog. Exhale, gaze forward, step or float. Forward fold, lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, bow. Chair pose, inhale, bend your knees, weight in your heels, lift your heart. Hold here as you exhale. And inhale, high mountain, stand tall, reach up. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, hopefully you're warm now. Right foot is your base. Lift your left knee up. And then open your left knee out to the left. Tree pose, grab your left foot and place it on your right inner thigh. If that feels like too much, inner calf or inner ankle is totally fine. Press your foot into your leg back into your foot, and try to let your hips open, or at least your left hip, I should say. So left hip is open, hug towards midline. If you want to add some arms now, arms can reach up. Maybe you even add a little bit of movement or an exploration of your gaze. Maybe you try to gaze up. Free pose. Feel it, be in it, breath by breath. And then see if you can come out of it really, really slowly and come back to standing staff. So left knee will stay lifted, but it will face directly forward. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, warrior three. Right foot is your base. Left leg reaches back. Take at least one deep breath, maybe two in your fullest expression of warrior three. And then land in crescent lunge. Left toe step back. Arms to the sky. Settle in, find your breath. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to the ground and add a little twist. So right arm up. Gaze up at your right hand. Keep your legs strong. Keep breathing all the way down into your belly. You can stay here if you want to go further, you guys. Option to walk your left hand off the left side of your mat and then reach your right fingertips back. Let your heart look up. Legs stay strong. Back toes are rooted firmly. Take one last round. End of your exhale, let it go. Unwind. Walk your hand to the left long edge of your mat. So you're in a wide-legged straddle for a moment. Halfway lift position. I'm gonna keep my fingertips on the ground. You can do the same, or maybe you want to use blocks under your hands. Start to walk your hands towards the back edge of your mat a little bit as you bend your left knee. So pause right here. If this is where you want to stay, totally fine. Otherwise, moving into full Skandasana, left toes pivot towards the back edge of your mat. Right toes pivot towards the sky. If at all possible, keep your left heel down. If you need to lift your left heel, that's okay. It just kind of changes what you're getting out of it. You're not so much in your hips and your pelvis. So if you can let your hips come down towards the ground, keep your left heel down. Awesome. If not, no big deal. Your hands can stay down for support, or you can lift your arms up for more of a challenge. See if you can pull your heels energetically towards each other. Take about 2 more breaths. Good job, you guys. And then come back into that wide-legged straddle position. So slowly, both legs extended, all 10 toes face the long edge of your mat. Come to a halfway lift and place your hands on your hips. And then rise all the way up. Pivot your heels in and point your toes out. Bend your knees. You're in a high squat, wide-legged squat. You want your knees pretty much right on top of your ankles. So if your stance looks like this, you need to adjust. Ankles straight down from knees, hands to thighs, sit low. So let your hips kind of melt towards the ground as much as you can. Keep rooting into the outer edges of your feet and pressing your knees back as much as you're able. Take an inhale and think of a standing cow pose. So butt out, heart forward, press your thighs open wider. Exhale, twist towards the back of your mat. Right shoulder dips down. Inhale through center, keep your knees wide, keep your butt low. Exhale, twist towards the front of your mat. Inhale back to center, one more time each way, stay low. Exhale to the back. Inhale, center. Exhale to the front. Inhale, center. Straighten your legs. Parallel your feet. Arms to the sky whenever you are ready. All the way down. Dive down into your wide-legged fold. Give yourself about 3 to 5 breaths wherever you want to go here. Next inhalation. Let's come back to a halfway lift. Fingertips on the ground, everyone. So bend your knees if needed. Walk your hands forward. Rotate your toes forward. And then from your low lunge, listen. 3-legged down dog. Take your right leg back and up. So take a moment. Extend and lengthen through your right leg. Make it strong and powerful. One more inhale. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog, square hips. Exhale, rock forward, 3-legged plank, or your own variation of plank to chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart. For a moment, sit back into a child's pose. Rest and breathe. Just feeling your body, all that energy flowing through. Downward facing dog. All right, great big inhale into your down dog. Exhale, look forward, however you want to get there, top of your mat, forward fold. Halfway lift with your in-breath. Exhale, fold and bow. Root through your feet all the way up, rise, arms reach up. Hands to your heart center. Exhale. Left foot roots down now. Right knee floats up. So balancing on your left foot, standing staff. Slowly open your right hip so your right knee points out to the right. And then you can use your right hand to place your foot against your inner thigh. Or if you'd rather, inner calf, inner ankle, totally fine. Press foot into leg, leg into foot firmly. So it's like you're hugging in and zipping up a zipper through your midline. Option to add some arms at any point if you want to. Make sure you're breathing. Slow, steady breath, soft through your face. Couple more. Exploration is welcome. Feel all those little tiny muscles in your left foot working to help you balance. Let's slowly come back to a standing staff. So release your foot slowly. Bring your right knee to face forward. One more inhale. Warrior three. So balancing just a little bit longer. You can do it. Arms forward, or you take an arm variation of your choice. Right leg back. Strong, powerful. At least one, maybe two deep breaths in your warrior three. And then crescent lunge, soft landing. Take a moment to settle in, to breathe. Nice work. One more inhale into crescent, maybe gaze up. And hands come down as you exhale. Add a twist, so right hand on the ground or a block, left arm up. Open through the left side of your heart, maybe gaze up. Stay here. Or if you want to go a little deeper, walk your right hand or your right fingertips off the right side of your yoga mat. Start to reach your left fingertips back and let your heart look up towards the sky. Keep your legs, especially your back leg, really, really strong. Keep breathing down into your belly. Can you take one more huge breath? Very end of your exhale. Let it go. Unwind. Hands over to the right long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet, straighten your legs for a moment. Find a halfway lift position. Hands on the ground for a little more support and start to curl your hands back towards the back edge of your mat as you bend your back knee, your right knee. So you might keep all of your toes facing forward and your spine nice and long. Or you can move into full skandasana. Right toes pivot towards the back edge of your mat. Left toes pivot to face the sky. If at all possible, right heel stays grounded. So if your right heel is on the ground, focus on squeezing your heels energetically towards each other like they're magnetized. And then breathe. Arms can lift up or hands can stay on the ground for more support. About 3 more deep breaths. Your pose, your expression, your variation. Good job, you guys. Let's come back to our wide-legged straddle. So straightening your legs, parallel your feet. Come back to center and inhale to a halfway lift, hands on hips. Rise all the way up to stand now. All right, we're gonna do something completely different on this side. So on this side, pivot your left toes forward, bend your left knee. Find warrior two. So warrior two facing the front edge of your mat, that's all it is. Take a moment to settle, to breathe. And then from your warrior two, reverse your warrior. Reach up, reach back, left side long. Keep that deep bend in your left knee, keep pressing into your right foot. One more round, reverse warrior. And then back through warrior two, reach forward, side angle, reach, 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 tip it over, your variation of side angle. About 3 breaths total. All right, from your side angle, press into your feet, rise back up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, parallel your feet. Now turn your right toes towards the back edge of your mat, bend your right knee, you're in a warrior two facing the back of your mat. Take a moment to settle in and make any adjustments needed. Breathe. Inhale, reverse your warrior, right palm rotates up, reach up and back, lengthening through right side, bending in the right knee, strong through your low belly, so keep a little connection to center to support your low back. Couple more breaths here. And then come through your warrior two, side angle, reach forward as far as you can, tip it over. Again, it's your own variation, so maybe your left arm's reaching overhead, bicep next to your ear, maybe you're in a half or a full bind. Wherever you're at, big, spacious inhales, exhales all the way to empty, couple more. And then back to your warrior two stance. Straighten your right leg, parallel your feet so your toes are again facing the long edge of your mat. Arms reach up, breathe in. Exhale takes you all the way back down, wide-legged straddle, anywhere you want to go for a few rounds. Good job, you guys. Last couple breaths. Come to a halfway lift position. Inhale, fingers, hips on the ground. Walk your hands forward, back to low lunge at the top of your mat. So hands frame your left foot. Take your left leg all the way back and up, three-legged down dog. So take a moment, lengthen your left leg, press down through your fingertips, lift from your center. One more inhale. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, or aim for your armpit, aim high. Inhale, three-legged dog, square hips. Exhale, rock forward, your variation, plank to chaturanga. Lift your heart as you breathe in. Sit back into a child's pose as you breathe out. And just rest. Grounding breaths, restorative breaths, open mouth sighs if it would feel good. Downward facing dog. All right, from your dog pose, inhale your right leg high. Open up your right hip, so bend your knee, reach your knee out and up towards the sky. Active through your right outer glute, so you should feel your right outer glute squeezing. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, pigeon pose, bring your right shin forward, set your body down gently. Pull your right hip back, so like you're plugging the femur bone into the hip socket. Your legs feel strong, there's a structure. As you pull your right hip back, you can take your heart forward whenever you're ready. If you want to take pigeon on your back or in a seat instead, of course, I totally welcome that. So please do whatever you got to do for you. We've got about 5 to 7 rounds. Take about 2 or 3 more breaths. Slowly start to lift your upper body. We're going to come into a seat, so ease your way onto your right butt cheek. Let your hips open, swing your left leg around. Extend both legs forward for a second and just shake them out a little bit. And then let's bring, so either the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh like tree pose, or if it's available, you can bring the outer edge of your right foot kind of to this crease in the left side of your hip. So if I'm facing forward, it looks something like this. It's like a half lotus pose with your right leg. If that bothers your ankle or just doesn't feel good, sole of your foot to your leg is totally fine. And I actually think that's what I'm gonna do right now because my ankle feels kind of funky. So now we're working our hips square towards this extended leg. It might even be helpful to take your butt, kind of move it out of the way so your sit bones are right on the ground, or your left sit bone is right on the ground. Arms reach up, flex your left toes back, press foot into leg or on top of your leg, inhale. And then exhale, forward fold, so heart leads, dive down. I like to bring my left hand behind me a lot of times and kind of use it to propel my upper body forward a little. Use each breath to dive a little deeper, to fold a little bit further. So just each exhale, that navel to spine connection, it's an invitation to go a little deeper. Keep the flexion in your left toes, keep squeezing through your left thigh, the top of your left thigh. And then let's say 2 more breaths. We'll roll up slowly. So at the bottom of your second exhale, just slowly start rolling up. And then eventually lift your head. Turn over your right shoulder, bring your right hand down behind you. And if you did have your foot on your the front of your hip, just bring your foot to the ground, almost like you have your the sole of your foot at your inner thigh. So we're going into a modified side plank or modified wild thing. Press into right hand, left heel, lift your hips, reach your left arm back, maybe let your heart look up, it's up to you. Just length and space, lots of it, breathe into it, soften around it, couple more. Good job, and then back down, sit bones to the ground. Bring both legs out in front of you with your feet on the ground, knees bent. You can lean on your hands behind you, but try not to let your shoulders roll forward and collapse. Keep them nice and open, roll down and back. Feet are mat width distance apart, go back and forth, so a couple of rounds of windshield wipers. All right, from here, we're gonna move into a boat pose. So knees together, you can have your heels on the ground to modify, or heels lifted, hands behind your thighs to modify, or arms reach forward. Try to stay balanced on your sit bones rather than rocking back onto your tailbone. If you want more, extend your legs, squeeze your inner thighs. Keep your heart lifted. Keep breathing. Oh, I get a cramp. Take one more big deep breath. Whenever you're ready, so you can hold longer if you want, but eventually you're gonna cross your ankles, rock forward, either step back or hop back to chaturanga with bent elbows. And vinyasa, or skip it, so you back and down dog. Once you're back in your dog pose, walk it out, find your breath. Inhale your left leg to the sky. For a moment, open your left hip, so peel it open. Good. Take a moment just to be here and to get that nice stretch in the front of your left hip. When you're ready, pigeon pose. left shin, top of your mat. Bring your body down gently, set yourself up intentionally. So especially if your hips are pretty open, you don't want to push them down. You don't want to just flop into it. You want to find the strength, the structure, the integrity. So left hip pulls back as your heart moves forward. And then you bow and breathe here. Send your breath down into your left hip. Visualize it. If there's another variation of pigeon that you want to take instead, please always know that that's up to you. Never barks. What's going on? Just a package delivery. Sorry, guys. Take about 2 more. Exhale out your mouth if you want to. And then let's slowly start transitioning into a seated position. So lift up, ease your way onto your left butt cheek. Swing your right leg around. You can take both legs out for just a second, shake them out. And then we'll set up again for that Janu Sirsasana, so that variation either with sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh, or outer edge of left foot to that little crease in the front of your right hip. So like a half lotus pose with your left leg if you want. Get your butt cheek out of the way. So take your right inner thigh, kind of spiral it down and out. Flex your right toes, sit up tall, arms reach, inhale. Just like a swan dive, heart leads, right butt cheek reaches back as you fold. Maybe right hand behind you. There's a little bit of help to propel your upper body forward, and then big deep breaths. Good job, friends. Last couple. Use your exhales to dive deeper, fold further. And then slowly roll it up. So ever so slowly, one vertebra at a time. Head comes up very relaxed. Once your head stacks, turn over your left shoulder, left hand down behind you. Spread your fingers wide, push your left hand and your right heel down, lift your hips. Modified side plank or modified wild thing. We're just going for length and space. So how much space can you create? Breathe into all of it. One last huge breath. Okay, and then sit bones to the ground. Wind chilled wide birds. Feet mat width distance apart, back and forth. And then we are either going to move into a lotus pose. Then I'll give you a fun little thing to try if you're in lotus. If lotus pose is not going to happen for you, or you just don't feel like it would be good for you today for whatever reason, then Baddha Konasana with feet together, knees apart, working into your forward fold, totally fine. You're coming into lotus. Start to kind of arrange your legs so both feet are on top of your inner thighs, just like so. And you want your feet, your toes active, like you're flexing them back, trying to spread them. You can either work with simply sitting like this in meditation. It's actually, to me, it's a lot of sensation still in my legs. or this is just a fun thing to try if you want to. You just lift up to your knees and see if you can balance on your knees, take your arms to the sky. Woo-wee. I think it was Iyengar said if you can do this for like 1 full second, then you've achieved yoga bliss or something. So you can play with that. And then if you want to switch your legs out, opposite ankle on top for a few breaths, play with that. Just silliness, I know, but it's really hard. You have to engage your core, you have to press your hips forward. So just playing if you want to, or just sitting in meditation, or sticking with feet together, knees apart, cobbler's pose. Maybe you play with lotus for a bit and you're like, okay, that's enough. I'm going to go into cobbler's pose. So let's just say 3 to 5 more breaths wherever you're working, finishing off your own exploration of any of those poses. That would make you a very advanced yogi if you can balance on your knees in lotus pose. All right, if you're folded forward in Baddha Konasana, start to lift your upper body. Everybody extend your legs forward, give them a nice little shake out, and find your way all the way down onto your back. Once you're on your back, arms overhead, full body stretch. You can either actively reach through fingers and toes, passively reach through fingers and toes, or I'm giving my legs a little shake. Just kind of shaking out all that energy. So any of those options, go for it. And then let's bring eventually our feet to the ground with our knees bent and set up for a bridge pose. So feet on the ground, ankles and heels straight down from your knees. All 10 toes face forward, your feet are hips width distance apart. Arms down by your sides. Exhale, pull your belly button down, scoop your tailbone up. As you inhale, peel your spine off of your mats. Once you get to the top of your bridge, bring your arms into what I call robot arms. So bend your elbows, palms face each other, fingertips face the sky. And then see if you can work your shoulders closer together underneath you. Bring your elbows closer to your sides. Press down into the backs of your arms, your triceps. And in the back of your head, lift your chin just a bit. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to lower just your butt, creating a tunnel underneath the middle of your back. Inhale, lift just your butt up. Just like that, up and down with your butt, creating that tunnel, making it bigger every time you lower. Keep hugging in with your inner thighs. Keep pressing down through your heels and the inner edges of your feet. If you ever took Jason's classes, he always taught these. This is how I learned mid-back strength, awareness, and mobility. So feel mid and lower back muscles engaging. A lot of times people don't even have these muscles, so they're like, oh, that feels so weird. It's like, yeah, it feels weird because you're waking up muscles that you've never even felt before. Take 3 more just like this, lifting and lowering. If you can't get your butt quite to the ground, that's okay. Just get it as close as you can and then lift back up. And then after you've taken about 3 of these, work your shoulders out from underneath you and reach your arms straight up towards the sky. One more inhale, lift your hips, keep reaching your arms up. Exhale, slowly roll your spine back down to neutral. Once you're back in neutral spine, arms out to both sides, feet wide, mat width distance, windshield wiper your knees side to side, slowly and mindfully. Next time your knees fall to the right, keep them there for about 5 breaths. Option to bring the outer edge of your right foot to the outside of your left knee if you want to, and use it to encourage your left knee forward and down a bit, lengthen through your left side body. And breathe. And then switch to the other side. The legs Knees go left if you want, outer edge of left foot outside of right knee. Big deep breaths. Knees back to center. Keep your feet wide. Let your knees for a moment just fall in towards each other. And if the outer edges of your feet lift, that's fine. If you want to bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly, go for it. Just take a few really big, spacious breaths down into your low back, down into your pelvic bowl. Maybe even imagine it. Use your imagination. If you feel really good here, you want to stay here. Want to stay here longer or even the remainder of your practice, that is absolutely fine with me. If there are any other finishing poses, movements, stretches you want to take, give yourself a few rounds of breath to do so. So maybe a happy baby to finish off your practice. Maybe you just want to squeeze your knees in, give them a great big squeeze, and then move into your Shavasana. So anywhere else your body wants to go, and then just start your transition into your own final resting pose. So as you do settle in, just let your breath start to become effortless. So letting go of any effort, any control. Just let your body do that work for you. Let your body breathe you. And then as you settle in, all your muscles can just relax. Well, the weight of your body can just really give in to the earth. Let it be held by the earth. And if you want, you might even take one last great big falling out breath on your own. Just dropping into your Shavasana. And this is a poem I'm going to share with you by Ali Michelle. To create a window where there was only a wall requires a willingness to keep reaching out your hand, even if it trembles and shakes. Most of us require mutually assured vulnerability. We match the level of openness to the person in front of us. Connection becomes one big game of chicken. By closing off, we haven't protected ourselves from pain. No, pain will seep through the cracks of your walls regardless. All we've done is cut ourselves off from life itself. Like a bird that never leaves the nest, the wind stops whispering its secrets to her. To open is to risk. It is to shoot yourself out of the cannon moment to moment. Safety is a silent prayer on your lips as you free fall, but certainty is a long since forgotten hope. After all, you have wings. So I no longer avoid the point of breaking. I say to the world, break my heart, break it so wide open that all of eternity can fit in between the pieces. These last few moments, imagine your heart. Just feel into all that space that your heart contains and let it open, let it seep through the cracks. all that love inside of you. Let it flow through. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Ah. And start to wiggle through fingers, toes. Just slowly wake your body up. And as you're ready, roll to either side, fetal position. Take a moment to just rest there. Really let all that energy from your practice, all that effort, all that awareness really just seep in. And using the strength in your arms, begin to guide yourself up into seated meditation. So right back where we started, just sitting up intentionally. Close your eyes, gather your hands to your heart, and just take one last moment to bow your head to your heart, to acknowledge yourself, to thank yourself for taking the time out of your day to be more intentional, to tune in, to connect with yourself in a deeper way. Thank you for letting me guide you, friends. Namaste. Okie dokie, schmokies, peace.
Bravo.
Hope it was advanced enough for you guys.
It was
Yes, and then some.
Okay, good. All right, friends, I'll see you next week. Mwah! Love ya. Have a good day.